Florida Congressman Jared Moskowitz is joining us now. Jared, thank you so much. I know this has been an extremely, maybe excruciatingly busy time as you see all of the things coming down the pipe. I want to start with this, though. Is Trump's demand for names from the CIA, that the CIA has now turned over in an unclassified email the first name and last initial of the agents, a threat to the agents' security and a threat to national security in your mind?
Yeah, thanks for having me this morning. Yeah, obviously, look, there's dramatic concern about how this information is being passed and it's happening so fast. And so the answer to that is possibly, if it's not being done in a sensitive manner, then yes, obviously we could have agents exposed. And, you know, look, that's what's going on in general. This stuff is happening so quickly without transparency. Look, I agree with the mission of DOGE. It's why I joined the caucus. I think Americans want to see government spend less money and become more efficient. I think that's a bipartisan issue. But I think how they're doing it is the problem. And you don't have to listen to me. Listen to the data. These guys are data guys, right? The Economist in November said that Republicans, these are all just Republicans, 47% of them wanted Elon Musk very involved with the government. That number today, that same poll by The Economist, is now 26, just with Republicans. So you don't have to listen to Democrats like me. Listen to Republicans. Republicans, by 20 points, want Elon Musk less involved with the Trump administration. So it's how they're doing it. Article 1 of the Constitution preserves all this stuff for Congress. Again, another data point. I want to find all of these things. We can audit all of these departments. We can find wasteful spending. But only Congress is going to solve this problem, and I'll prove it. Go to the debt clock right now. Has the debt clock reversed? You know what? Ask me in 2 weeks. Has the debt clock reversed based on what they're doing in the executive? Ask me in 2 months. Has the debt clock reversed based on what they're doing in the executive? And the answer is going to be no on all of those times. Only Congress can solve this. So until the administration reaches out to Congress and Democrats, because they can't do anything in the House without Democratic votes, we're actually not going to solve these problems. But listen, I agree with the mission of DOGE. We should try to find wasteful spending wherever we can.
I do want to ask you about Donald Trump and him demanding the names of the thousands of FBI agents and leadership who worked on the 1,000+ January 6 rioter cases. Deputy Attorney General Emile Bove said FBI agents who simply followed orders and carried out their duties in an ethical manner do not face the risk of being fired. Do you believe him?
Well, look, obviously, we don't want to see revenge in these departments, but also let's be a little honest. Is this a surprise? I mean, Donald Trump told us he was going to do this. He said that. He said, right, I'm going to go and get rid of the people at the FBI that weaponize the FBI. And so I would say that issue was on the ballot. He told the American people he was going to do it. They're now doing it. That doesn't mean that I support it. Doesn't mean that I like it. But he said he was going to do that.
Congressman, do you see this as revenge and vengeance and retribution as Donald Trump promised he would met out?
Well, look, obviously, if they get rid of the people that only worked on the cases that went after Donald, then obviously, you know, connect the dots where you will. But he told the American people he was going to do this, right? The EO he signed on the Department of Education, which, again, he can't get rid of without Congress. But the EO he signed on the Department of Education, he told the American people he was going to do that. I know that we've been outraged over, 50 things, which is their point, flood the zone, overload us. But on a lot of those, he told the American people he was going to do it. So I just don't know why we're surprised.
Here's something he did not tell the American people he was going to do, and he said that he was going to own Gaza, go in with the military, send out the Palestinians to other countries. Do you think that's a good idea?
Well, let me make 2 points on this. First point is that, look, this is a sad state of affairs for the Palestinian people, and here's what I mean by that. Their leadership has failed them now for 50+ years. Yasser Arafat turning down peace deals that it could have given them a state, could have given them a way to the future. You have Hamas now basically destroying Gaza because they launched a war on October 7th. The leadership of the Palestinian people have put them in this terrible position. That being said, there's not going to be boots on the ground in Gaza. That's not going to happen. I do think Donald Trump is trying to shake the system. We know how he likes to negotiate. It is unorthodox. And I think what he's trying to do is he's trying to get the Arab neighbors to step up and take more responsibility in rebuilding Gaza, in the security of Gaza. And he's saying, look, if you don't want to do it, then we're going to do it. And we already know that Jordan and Egypt and some of the other countries out there don't want to do some of those things. And so I think this is a shock to the system and a real proposal. But let me say one more point. This is I think, really critical. Right? This is also part of the strategy. The brilliance of Donald Trump, what he does through the media and up here on Capitol Hill. He treats us all like ADHD kids, right? That like squirrel. Oh, we're going to buy Greenland over here. Oh, we're going to take Gaza over here. Oh, we're going to buy TikTok over here. Oh, Canada's going to be the 51st state over here, right? And while all of that's going on, there's real stuff that's actually happening that they can accomplish. And so, this is not going to happen.
Congressman,
Go ahead.
It sounds like that you have tacit sort of approval of him making these bold statements about owning Gaza. Is that what I heard?
No, what I'm saying is it's not going to happen, right? I mean, we're not going to own Gaza. So the more we spend time on his statement of we're going to own Gaza, the less time we can spend on the real things that are happening. What I am saying is I do think this is a negotiating tactic of his trying to get the Arab world to do more on the future of Gaza. Just like what he did with NATO in the last administration. I didn't like it, but he did get those countries to put more money into NATO. And so, look, if he's able to get the Arab countries to put more money into Gaza, into the reconstruction of Gaza, right, to have a future for the Palestinian people in some fashion, then great. But we're not going to have boots on the ground. By the way, if you don't have boots on the ground, let's just talk about this logistically. How do you get Gaza? Where do you buy it? Is it on Amazon? I mean, so like this is we're talking about something that isn't happening. So like let's move on to a new topic.
All right, Congressman Moskowitz, thank you so much. Appreciate you coming on this morning. Kate?